Hello everyone, Merry Christmas Eve. Today is the 24th of December. We are nearing the end of the year. Today we are doing a, we're gonna talk about my favorite books of 2022. Or, not 20, talk about my favorite books of 2021. They're not all 5 stars, some of them are 4 stars. But they're just like the ones that like stuck with me the most. Like when I was looking through my bookshelf, I was like, which books actually like came, like, what is it called, like stood out to me that I read this year, and these are the ones that did that. First one is the Atlas 6. I believe this is on Book Talk and all that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not like on Book Talk. I did just make a TikTok dedicated just to like books, but yeah, I'm not on Book Talk very often, but I think this is a Book Talk book. I picked it up because of Haley Pham recommended it, and I think she just made a video like this about her favorite her favorite reads of the year, and the Atlas 6 was one of them, as well as one more that I read as well. But yeah, this is a really good book. I really enjoyed it. It is told in the perspective of there's 6 of them. So basically there are 6 magicians. I know that they think they call them something else in this book. They don't call them like magicians, but 6 magic doers, and they're in a competition because only 5 can continue. And it's told in the perspective of the 6 different characters, which I really liked. I liked seeing the different like perspectives and thoughts and stuff. I fell in love with every character except one. There's one character that I just don't care about, and like maybe in the next book I'll care about him, but as of right now I'm just like, I don't give a shit about you. I really like this book. The only reason it wasn't a 5-star read for me was because like I feel like the whole book was like, oh, what's going on, and then the last like few chapters it just explains everything, but like I don't know how to explain it. Like I kind of wish it didn't. Like I kind of wish it didn't like explain everything that happened so fast. Like I don't know, like there was no suspense, I guess. I don't know. Like I don't know how to explain it, because like again the whole book was like, what is going on, like who is the bad guy, I don't know. And then at the end it's just like, oh, here's what happened, and I don't know. I didn't particularly like that. And I had a similar experience with the next book, which is Ninth House. I really enjoyed this book. It was my first like dark academia, or is this Atlas 6 is considered dark academia as well, right? But yeah, so one of my first dark academia. It was my like first dip into thriller books as well, and literally ever since I read Ninth House I've been reading thrillers like non-stop lately. Basically it's set in Yale. Like I said, dark academia. We're following like underground societies. There's magical realism, which I really like. Murder mystery as well. And again, really good. The whole book, really good. And it's told in the perspective, also I really like this. I really like when books do this. It's told in the perspective of like the past and the present. So you're following the present, but then you're also like going back in the time and seeing like how they got there, and at some point you just meet in the middle and it just keeps going from there. And I love when books do that. I just read The Mysterious Affairs at Styles by Agatha Christie, and she does the exact same thing, and I don't know why, I really like books that do that. So I just feel like it's really suspenseful that way. Again, I read the whole book, really enjoyed it, and then at the end I didn't like the ending. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like the ending. Like I just feel like, again, they explained, like they put so much information, like this whole thing, right? Got this whole book right here, and the last like 15, this is not 15 pages, but like the last like 15 pages, information overload, like overload. There was so much that came out in the end, and I just did not like that. Again, it was going to be a 5-star read, and then that happened, and I was like, oh well, I kind of ended in a bad, I didn't like the way it ended. But I believe there's gonna be a second book, which I'm excited for. I'm very invested into this book though. Like even though it wasn't like a 5-star for me, I'm definitely invested into this book. Same with Atlas 6, like the characters got me, like they have a piece of my heart. Next up is The Silent Patient, and this book kind of did the opposite of the last 2 books. This book I literally thought was kind of boring, and I just did not care for it for the entire book, and then the end came and suddenly it was like, it was going to be like a 3-star read, like it was gonna be a 3-star read, and then the ending made it like a 4.5 read. Like like I don't know, like this is like one of the few books where like I did not guess the ending, like I did not guess the twist. I kept trying to figure it out and I did not guess it, and then it came and I was like, wait, there was so much hidden little clues in the story that I did not realize until the end. And just the fact that it could blow my mind like that at the end, easy, like this is a memorable read. A woman who has a seemingly perfect life with her husband until one day she murders him, and we don't know why, because she just stops talking from then on. Like she just never talks again. And then you follow the perspective of her psychotherapist trying to get her to talk and trying to figure out the story and trying to get through like the nitty-gritty, because it does get a little boring in my opinion. Just keep reading till the end, because like in my opinion, it's so worth it. Next up is The Abyss Surrounds Us. I will say this is probably one of the books that like got the lowest rating. Like I think I rated it a 4, but like in terms of like compared to these other books, I don't think it's as like great. The reason it stuck with me, and I'll be completely honest with you, the reason it stuck with me was because it has lesbians and pirates in it, and that is why it stuck with me. It is really good. It is like a sci-fi fantasy. There's like sea creatures, again, pirates, lesbians. It was like this is actually my first book. Yeah, like my first book, like my first like LGBT book, which is funny because I'm literally gay. But next year we're gonna be reading more queer books, I promise. I need to get on that. Basically the main character is a trainer for these sea creatures, and then she gets like abducted and like put on a pirate ship. The pirate queen, the pirate captain, makes her train a like sea creature pup and use it like on the pirate side. So it's like everyone versus like the pirates. And so she's part of here, then she gets taken here, and then she has to fight for the pirates. Yeah, you get it. It's good. I think it's a good book. I think there's a second book to this actually that I'm probably gonna pick up soon. And then we'll move on to my 5-star read. So the first one I have is We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Finished it in a day. I definitely didn't like think that I would like this one as much. It was like my first dip into horror. It's definitely like, so I haven't gotten like creeped out by a book yet. Like I haven't gotten like, ooh, like scared from a book yet. This one probably was the closest for me. It made me like uneasy, and it made me feel like, not scared, but like just like creeped out, I guess. Basically you're following these 2 sisters who the rest of their family died. And you're following, honestly I forgot her name, Mary Catherine, yep. And it's just, again, uneasy. There's just like a lot of little elements, like they're in a, like, they need a routine, and there's like some like goblin core, like witch elements in there, and there's like the fact that she's 18, but I swear and you think she's way younger than that based on like the way she thinks. And there's definitely a lot to unpack into this, like this tiny book. There's a lot to unpack, but really good. Do I recommend watching the movie? No, I didn't particularly like it, but yeah. And then the last 3 I have is from the same series. I think I talk about this all the time now. I talk about this series all the time, but it is the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. I'm sorry. I really like this series. So it starts with Skyward, and then it goes to Starsight, and then the newest one, Titanic, came out last month. These all got a 5-star from me. It's just a really good series. I love the way Brandon Sanderson writes. I'm starting his Mistborn series next year. So like it's literally like the first book I'm gonna pick up next year, and I'm excited to like dip my toes into more Brandon Sanderson because he's a brilliant writer, and so good. But yeah, so this is basically sci-fi, space wars. The human race is like stranded on a planet, and they're being attacked by like these aliens. You're following the main character, whose name is Spensa. Her father was a pilot who fought against these aliens, but then he was killed because he deserted his team. And so throughout the story, you're following not only like her becoming like a pirate you're following her becoming a pilot as well, and then there's that hidden mystery of like, why did he desert? And then there's also like the hidden mystery of why the hell are these aliens attacking us? How did we get on this planet? Yeah, really good. I swear it gets crazier and like it just gets crazier. It's just like, what is happening? I thought it was gonna be a trilogy, but there's a 4th book coming, and I should have known that because it's Brandon Sanderson and he loves to make long series. Like I think he has the Stormlight Archives that are like 10 books long or something. The Mistborn series is like 6 books long, so I should have known it's gonna be more than 3 books. But yeah, I definitely recommend reading these books if you haven't. I think he is my favorite author at the moment, alongside Madeline Miller, and I think I'm also starting to like, well, I can't say that. I want to say Leigh Bardugo, but I didn't like Shadow and Bone that much. I do want to read 6 of Crows. Anyways, those are my favorite books of 2022. If you have not read them and you are interested, I definitely recommend these books. Currently reading Bone Ships, so I'm going to continue reading that now. And I hope you guys have a good Christmas. This is coming out after Christmas for sure, but yeah. All right, I will see you soon, very soon probably. Bye.